Everybody, Shane Severson here, Legacy Realty. Hey, we are going to jump into our February market update, and also we're going to talk about this coronavirus and what it is doing to our real estate market. I know I do a lot of videos. I know a lot of you are wondering, so make sure you check this out. It's going to be great information that you are not going to want to miss. Let's go check it out. Hey everybody, Shane Severson here. Hey, we are going to jump into our February market report, so let's just jump right in. I got some notes. A lot of times I'll ad lib and go through the things I want to hit, but I got a lot I want to talk about, a lot I want to share. Many of you are wondering what's going on in the real estate market right now in the middle of the coronavirus. We're going into the peak of the season, and what effect is that having? You are getting ready to sell, getting ready to buy, you're not quite sure. Well, I'm on the street, I'm on the road, I'm talking to lots of people. I can tell you what's going on in the market, and let's jump right in. Before we get started, I want to do a before the coronavirus and an after the coronavirus. So keep that in mind, the things I'm saying towards the beginning here, that's before coronavirus. So just keep that in mind. And after we go through it, I will talk about what effect this virus is having on our Denver real estate market. All right, so our average price right now, these numbers are staggering to me. So it's so important to watch my past videos and track the trends of what is actually going on. And I think you'll understand why realtors are saying what they are. Our average price right now is $525,270. That's the entire metro Denver area, and we are up 6.7%. That is higher than I expected. That's higher than I said I thought it would get to, but that is where we are at. It's skyrocketing. The market is continuing to just skyrocket, and there is no end in sight. You will hear me continue to say that. Our month's supply. Now, here's the deal. We all understand that the market is driven by supply and demand. If you got one candy bar and you got 30 people fighting over that candy bar, a $1 candy bar certainly now goes to $3, $4, whatever somebody will pay for it, and that's what drives prices up. This is a general economics topic that we're talking about. If you took economics in college, in high school, you know what I'm talking about. That is what is driving the real estate market and has been for years and years. So what is going on with our supply? Our supply is at 1.1 month supply. So if you look at a graph, a seller's market is anything over 4 or 5. Now I say 6, so keep this in mind. Anything over about 4, under 4 or 5, we'll do it the other way, under 4 or 5%, month supply, we are in a seller's market. 4 to 5%, it's about mediocre. It's average market from buyers to seller. But if you're under 4 or over 4 months supply, it becomes a buyer's market. You have so many homes for buyers to choose from. You can now make offers on whatever home you want. The seller's getting desperate, and you get a great price for the house. We are at 1 month supply, 1.1. The last time, don't miss this, the last time we were at this low of supply was in 2018. So we are driven by a supply and demand issue here in Denver, and we're the lowest that we've been in a couple years. Now, again, people are still thinking the market's going to collapse. We're in a bubble. People who feel that way are not paying attention at all, or just completely don't understand what is happening right now, coronavirus. Now, I'll give my opinions about what's still going to happen, but that will be in a second. The new listings are actually down 1.4%. So we have less homes coming on the market, less supply for people to get, and we still have just as many people moving into the market. 50,000 people. They're projecting until 2030, we will continue to have this kind of growth. Where are you going to put people? That is the concern. They're starting to build multi-units again, apartment buildings, but to take 50,000 people, they need homes. Now, that's all of this information is so critical and so important to understand what is going to happen in our market and what is currently happening. So with all that being said, there is no end in sight right now. I think we have at least 2 to 3 years. The economists, the experts in the market are saying we have a couple years of this same increase. So my takeaway for our February market update is the fact that sellers, we are headed right now into the peak. We are at the peak. So this coronavirus may push that back. I'll talk about that in a second, but we are in the peak. If I owned a home that I was selling right now, I would still plan to have it on the market within the next month. That is just me. You may hear information out there that says otherwise. I've been doing this a long, long time. The peak is always the peak, no matter what happens in the economy, no matter what happens in the market. I don't know that I will promise you, but I can almost guarantee the peak of the market's not going to be in the middle of Thanksgiving and Christmas. It's never going to happen. This is the peak of the market. So sellers, now's the time. And if you don't agree with me, at least have a conversation so we can chat about some of the details and the options you have. What does this mean for buyers? Buyers, I can't stress this enough, that if the market continues for the 2 to 3 years, now is the time to buy. If you bought a $450,000 home this year, in 3 years, if the market continues for a couple of years, you will have made over $100,000 in equity. That is how critical, that's how important it is to get in sooner than later. Okay, now that we said all of that, and people probably still don't believe me, still don't buy it, and especially now with the coronavirus, let's talk about what the coronavirus is doing and so forth. First, let me say, I am very sensitive. I obviously am a pastor. I have a lot of people around me that are hurting, that are losing their jobs. This is a very serious time. I would encourage you to not take this lightly. I would encourage you to keep your family in the house if at all possible. Stay safe, keep your family safe. I have my mother-in-law living with me in her 80s. I'm not taking any chances because I think we have to be very careful with everything that is going on right now. So in all seriousness, this is serious and I think we need to take it seriously. With that being said though, what is this virus and all of this going to do in the real estate market and what is it currently doing? First, let me say that the coronavirus and all of this is wreaking havoc on our economy, people losing jobs and all of that. But what's it doing in our market right now? I don't see much of an impact right now at all. First, the thing to understand is we have been deemed by the government and the local authorities that we are an essential business. Now, I know a lot of you would disagree, and I know a lot of you would say that realtors shouldn't be out showing homes and listing homes. But here's the thing to understand, that people are losing jobs. They either need to get out of their home. This is dire straits for them. They have to get out of their home. There are people that have jobs out of state. It is crucial for them to move and get their house sold. This is life and death for a lot of people. Real estate is. People are going to be living on the street if they don't find homes. With 50,000 people moving into Denver, they need a place to live. We're not selling boats. I'm not selling to people that need to go fishing. I'm not selling golf clubs. I'm selling a roof and a shelter over people's home. If you have family to live with and you can live with them for a few months, man, more power to you. That's awesome. But a lot of people legitimately do not have that option. So we have been deemed as essential. Now, with that being said, please understand that I am out working. I'm out showing homes. I'm out listing homes for people that need to get that done, or it's time to get that done. But we are being very cautious. Here at Legacy Realty, we are making sure that we're not going out to big group meetings. We're not doing any of our group meetings anymore. We're doing everything on Zoom like everybody else. I'm not around many people during the day. I'm working out of my home like everyone else probably watching this. So it's important to keep that in mind, that we are very cautious. They're not stacking showings any longer where you have 5 people in the house showing the same home at the same time. We are staggering those out. So most likely if you need to go look at a home, you will be the only one with myself or one of our team out looking at that house. So it's very important to understand what is going on with that. We are being very cautious, just like all the other essential businesses out there. We're not taking this lightly. So I do not see much of an impact right now. Homes are still going very, very quickly. Homes are still coming on the market. There's still multiple offers on these homes, and they're still going in days. So anybody who tells me that the market is going to drop or collapse or anything else, it is going to take a lot more than a couple weeks off for that to happen. Now, I understand it could slow the market. I understand that there will be an economic impact on this completely. I went to college, I took economics, I get that. But when you have supply and demand so pent up from what we have, it takes a lot more than a couple months off to slow a market like Denver. I hear all the people cautioning me right now. Shane, be very careful. The market is very volatile. We're not sure what's going on. I am seeing a big hit in the commercial real estate. I am seeing a big hit in the S&P 500, your stocks, your retirement. I am seeing a big hit with all of that. I am seeing a hit in the banking, and people can't pay some of their bills, and that is hitting the businesses. But when you have 6 buyers, let's say, for one home, okay, so now you have 3 buyers for one home. You still have 3 people fighting for that one house. That still is supply and demand out of whack, and it will still drive a market up. So that is what is going on. Let me give you some of my personal opinions. I kind of shared one right now, is if we do have all these buyers, supply and demand will still climb. And again, we're not selling a boat or golf clubs. We're not selling that people will stop buying. I have 3 kids. I've got my mother-in-law. I've got my wife. I need a home. I need a shelter. Whether I rent, whether I buy, I've got to go somewhere. And that is real estate in Denver. So every person that lives here, unless they're living with family or friends right now, they need real estate in Denver. That will continue to drive our market up. I do not see that this is going to impact our Denver real estate market. I have been telling people that I could see that it could slide the peak a couple months. If we have people, and I'm seeing it a lot, people say, I'm going to put it on the back burner for a month or so just to make sure that we can get out and businesses open up again. And I respect that, and that is fine. So people wait 2-3 months, maybe a month to buy, but all that does is pent up more demand for the homes. That's all that's doing. So it's not stopping a market. It's people that have to buy that's going to live with a family member, but there's no way I'm living with a family member for a year or so. I'm just sitting here for a couple months. As soon as businesses open back up, as soon as everything takes off, people are okay to be out and about again in groups. That market is going to take off even more than it has been. Again, this is my opinion. I don't have a crystal ball. I can't guarantee anything, but I think real estate is the greatest guarantee for your money you can have, and I'll end with that in a second. Again, I know people are afraid that the economy is going to collapse. They're afraid that the economy is going to take a big hit. Here's the thing to keep in mind. I'm not just I know there's so many new agents, and I don't mean to knock them. A lot of new agents that just got in the business, been in the business 3, 4, maybe even 5 5, 6 years. That is not me. I've been doing this 21 years. I have friends and I track all the biggest economists in the local area and in the United States. I track the people that are running real estate, huge companies. They're friends of mine in the market. And I'm also talking from 21 years of experience in the real estate business. I went through the largest collapse that we have had. I didn't see it from a distance. I worked it and lived it. And I can tell you that this is going to be way better, most likely, than that. I don't think it can get that bad. Although if it does, I still wish I would have listened to others and bought homes during that time. I'm telling you, I can only tell you from experience that the only people, in my opinion, that are going to lose in real estate in Denver are those that are reacting, those that are acting in fear and react. Either drop their price real quick, or they decide not to buy for a year now, and then a year down the road it's 30,000 higher. Those are the only people that are going to lose money. In the last 4 recessions, I give you the fact that the market may drop. I will give you that. I don't think it will, but I'll give you that. In the last 4 recessions in our country, the entire market was dropping. In Denver, 3 of the 4 averaged over 3% growing. So the economy in the United States is doing this, and the Denver market is doing this. Why? Supply and demand. Too many people moving in, too many people need homes. And it's just a supply and demand issue. And I guarantee you that a virus will not stop that. Now, again, I'll give you, it could postpone it. It could pent up some of that demand for 3 months, 4 months. I don't know how long we're going to be clustered in our home. Hopefully in a couple more weeks. But if it took 2 more months, you have that many buyers coming on the market. So that is, I will say that I always put my money where my mouth is. I'm not one to run my mouth on opinions. I always back it up. I just closed on an investment property last week, and I can't tell you how excited I am that I did. I'm so excited I did, and I am actually gearing myself up to buy as much real estate as I can, because I'm so confident that this market is going to continue. And so that is what I wanted to share. The last thing I will say, I've been saying this for months, and I will challenge anybody out there. I'd love to have a conversation with you. I'd love to sit down and I would say grab coffee, but right now we can't. Maybe we'll talk over the computer on Zoom. But if you track your real estate investments, if you track your retirements and everything else over the whole lifetime of the S&P 500, the average is about 8%. Some of you have seen, I've been meeting with 15, 20% increases, and that is astronomical. I think some people would say, oh my gosh, I wish I would have pulled that money a month ago and put it in real estate, but unfortunately you didn't. And I'm still here to tell you, if I pull a property on the market at what many feel is top dollar, just an average home, not a great deal, buy that property. Again, if you look at all the quadrants, and I've shared this before, if you don't understand what I'm talking about, just give me a call and I'll break it down for you. If you break all the quadrants down of where we make money in real estate, I promise you I can take a house, just an average home on the market, and I can make 20 to 30%. Constant, no dropping. If you track the Denver market, we've had the one drop, but since then it's been a straight upward slide, and I can't see that changing. I know I'm talking positive. I know I'm talking encouraging. Please, this is a serious deal. I am clustered in my home just like you are. This is very serious. Please be safe. Please take care of your family. But with that being said, don't live in fear. Live with the understanding and the knowledge that we have that it is still time to buy. And if you're going to live in a home for a year, 6 months, I would say, okay, let's hold off and take our time. If you're buying a house for your family or a rental property and you're going to own it for 3, 4, 5 years, I don't know of a better investment that's a guarantee. There's literally hardly any way you can lose money in real estate in Denver. And so I am very optimistic, and I would encourage you to call me and we can have those conversations. God bless you. I hope that helps. February market updates, it's all on the rise. It will continue. We'll see what the coronavirus holds. I'll be shooting out more videos, so watch for those. And God bless. We will see you here next time.